For Your Eyes Only is the fifth Roger Moore James Bond movie, and I'm very excited to give you guys my review for this movie. If you're new here, be sure to like this video and subscribe to my channel. As well, if you want to check out my reviews for the previous Bond films, I'll have a playlist up where you can go and click that and check those out. Now let's get into this review. So I actually quite enjoyed For Your Eyes Only. I know a lot of people aren't too big on this one. They find it kind of boring, and while I agree maybe it's not the most memorable Bond film, I myself don't find it boring. I found Moonraker, the previous one, boring, but this one, for me, I enjoyed it because it was more grounded than Moonraker, and it just felt like a nice, kind of simple, sort of back to its roots Bond film. Not over the top. There's moments that are still got that Roger Moore campiness to it, but it's not over the top like Moonraker was in the final act, and I didn't find it as boring as parts of Moonraker. This one I quite enjoyed. It's not the most memorable Bond film for sure, but I find all like the action scenes are all fun. They're good. There's nothing really wrong with them. They're not overly memorable, sure, but they're fun. I always have a fun time watching this film. I enjoy a lot of the locations in this movie. I like the place where they go in the snowy mountains where there's all the skiing and stuff. I really enjoy the location of the final act where Bond's having to climb up that mountain. Really enjoy that. The action scenes, I do enjoy them. There's a fun car chase scene, a fun chase on the skis where they're skiing down the mountains, and stuff like that. There's some fun ones. I quite enjoyed it. The henchman in this is alright, just sort of a typical throwaway henchman, but he's fine. The villain, there's actually like a twist with the villain that I think is actually pretty good in this, where there's this person that you think is on Bond's side, and he's pointing to this one person saying, oh yeah, this is the guy you're after, but it turns out it's the other way around. I enjoyed that, and the Bond woman in this I quite enjoy. I think she has a nice dynamic with Bond, and she's got more personal reasons for being in this situation with Bond than some of the other Bond women have. So I enjoyed that. There is another character, BB, that's kind of annoying, but she's not in it a whole lot, at least, but when she's there, she's like, okay. But yeah, I think this is just a fun Bond film. It's not breaking any new grounds, but I think it was what it needed to be after Moonraker, which went a little too far for a lot of people, where Bond went to space and they have all these laser blaster battles in space. This one took it back to Earth, grounded it more, and just sort of told, like a Bond story, which, sure, not a top 10 Bond at all, but it was just a fun Bond film, which is what it needed to be after Moonraker. And Roger Moore in this was really good. It has a moment that I think Roger Moore didn't like, but a lot of the fans do like, and that's where this like a henchman guy that he's been after for a lot of the movie, he's in his car, and his car is sort of on the edge of a cliff, kind of hanging down a bit, and Bond's there and sort of just kicks the car and pushes it off the edge where the guy's gonna die. And I think Roger Moore wasn't a fan of that, but the fans really liked that, and I thought it was a cool moment because it did feel like something Bond would do, at least maybe more of a Timothy Dalton or Daniel Craig Bond. But yeah, more of that gritty Bond that Bond could be. I did quite enjoy that scene. And yeah, this movie definitely has its goofy moments, and some of them are fun, like the final scene where they're trying to get Bond on the phone with the Prime Minister, and it's really the what bird is it? Macaw talking on the phone. It was funny, but really campy too, kind of goofy. But yeah, this movie had the Roger Moore era campiness, but more in a fun way, not really goofy and too silly of a way like some movies could be at times. I thought this was good. It's actually one of the more grounded Roger Moore films, in my opinion. I think it's more grounded than The Spy Who Loved Me, even. So yeah, I quite enjoy it for that. So I can get why people may say it's kind of boring. For me, it's not. For me, I'm sort of like the opposite of a lot of people. A lot of people, well, they may not like Moonraker, or they don't think it's boring, whereas I think Moonraker is kind of boring. A lot of people think this one was boring. I don't know. I think it's a fun film. Like I said, not a top 10 Bond film. It's not doing anything particularly new. It's just a fun Bond film, in my opinion. For me, I would give For Your Eyes Only a 77%. I really enjoyed this. I enjoy it more than a lot of people do, but that's just me. So if you guys have seen this movie, let me know what you thought about it. Are you like me, someone who actually quite enjoys this one, or are you sort of don't really like it, think it's kind of boring? Let me know what you thought of it in the comments down below, and stay tuned for some more reviews coming very soon as well. Be sure to like this video and subscribe to my channel if you haven't. And until my next video, take care everybody.